Alright, so this is a little off the beaten path, but I was looking at this book here. This book is from 1865, and I believe that this is a photograph album trying to capture traditional Russian garb, clothing, ceremonial. It was of mild interest. There's some very impressive facial hair, and a lot of the poses and the backdrop are pretty familiar. I mean, there's some very tight leather shoes here. Well, you can actually see their toes a few times, but there's not much in the way of surprise. It's a very heavily decorated war. This guy looks just exactly like the foreign minister today. It's kind of crazy to be related. Here's a lot of these are notably absent is that stand that you often see in the American ones. Of course, this guy would wear a top hat. I mean, other than that, I mean, it looks very similar to what was going on in America at the time. Very similar layouts, very similar in costume, or I guess military wear. Very heavily decorated, sir. Is there some fantastic facial hair going on here? And there's some oddities that hint to maybe some other shenanigans, such as bow tie discrepancy in eyes. This is a ever common trait, but I mean, check out this bow tie. This guy. Take it easy, my dude. It's a hell of a bow tie. Might need to get that under control. But other than that, it's nothing too surprising as far as looking at these. Except, I mean, this guy, I don't know, it's just odd stance or is half his body missing. I don't know. I mean, this guy's hand's a little weird with that angle. I don't really know what that's all about. But this is also one of the few ones that actually has the stand back there, so make of that what you will. And there's actually even a few, aside from this dress looking like it could hide like 7 people in it. And there's a few, there was one gentleman alone that I saw, and looked with button chops, that was doing the hidden hand thing. Wow, that might be the most amazing sideburns ever. Barely looks human. This is a jolly chap. Oh, no wonder he brought his own party. Kind of a strange midsection though. And if that's a woman, I mean, I'd be surprised, but Stranger Things I've been shown Stranger Things. This guy looks like he'd be the most fun to hang out with for some reason. He's like a jolly chap. This is the only guy that I saw that's doing this thing, which on the American side at this time was about every other guy. This guy looks like a White Walker, just in the flesh. And you can almost caption these as Union generals at the time of the American Civil War, and you wouldn't be too far off the mark. In fact, if you imagine that this is just being the mirror image to America, and then they've got their own band of outlaws and Confederates that they'd be up against, and their own natives, you might get something like this. Native American chief, or this guy. I don't know about those wings. Not sure what we're doing there with that person. This little George Washington knockoff. Maybe the worst beard of all time. Yeah, I don't know about that. Look at that booty, though. It's hard to say if some of these are women, but it's not my call to make. And then you have their version of the native. This guy looks like he just wandered in off the street and doesn't know where he's at. And here you go, the Confederates. Oh, God, look at how crazy they are. Especially this guy. And these hats. These are ridiculous. But this is almost the way I feel like they do, with the natives here at the time. I mean, they get this little scene set up and it just doesn't make sense. I mean, these guys, look at these leering pirate guys, these savages. Oh, this one's so tiny. They have grass, but then there's a cloth background. And then I don't know what's going on with that foot. What is that? They're not even standing. Putting weight on. I don't understand what I'm looking at. But my point is, here's another one here. Or there. This guy is in the right picture. Looks like he's walking past in the background, but I don't know. And this weird like seal skin or stuffed pig thing. But they're in a studio because you can see the backdrop here. In any case, oh yeah, there you go. The Sand People. I mean, these guys just look like they are doofy, just in a costume. The same 5 dudes just changing their costume around. But in any case, it's not really got my attention, and I don't know if this is really, what you call this, what I'm doing here. It's not really a research. It's more of a, I guess I'm kind of making fun of it because here, that was 1865, okay. And now we're going to jump to a Russian book from 1867, showcasing the same sort of ceremonial garb and what they were wearing at the time. Now, I'm going to say this one's actually photographs. The next one is drawings, which makes me wonder. I've often, I guess, mention or think about this demonization of Russians and Chinese to America. They're always this foreign, strange, weird, evil, laughable, mockable kind of caricature in modern American writing and news stories. I mean, despite people that actually know better. I mean, they were talking about Russia's economy being a gas station masquerading as a country. This is like a Joe Biden quote. And it's the dumbest thing ever. I mean, the region's so big and encompasses so many nationalities and ethnic groups. And I mean, it was just proven by the way that if you listen to Western media, the conflict, which was all entirely caused by Russia. It's entirely untrue, and they were going to lose within the first few weeks. Everything they ever said about it was a complete lie. I mean, I'm not going to get into all that, but you can see for yourself, the sanctions, the crippling sanctions from hell didn't do anything but cripple the economies of Europe and the United States, and the Russian economy is actually thriving, and it's actually doing better than anyone expected. And they are clearly on the rise. They essentially just defeated NATO in a war, at least a war of logistics and firepower and weaponry, which we were told they were out of missiles a year ago. And of course, that was all nonsense, because everything that comes across our television is North Korean-style propaganda. But for how long has this been going on? I don't know. So I'm looking at this next book, and it makes me laugh thinking that this is the depiction of what Russians were actually wearing. And maybe they were to some extent, but I'm saying that no one in human history has ever dressed like this. It's just ludicrous. So 2 years later, we're expected to believe that this is what they switched to wearing from regular clothes that you all just saw, very comparable to American. Somehow they're wearing things like this. I mean, sure, some of this is like ceremonial, but it's got to be impossible. I mean, what is that hat? Was it like a rod? It's like they put a rod on their head and then it draped a napkin or a curtain like over the rod so it's free flowing around the head. But what is the point? Okay, honestly, do not understand. I mean, unless the artist is just ridiculous. I mean, these sleeves and the whole thing is just the Grand Mufti. And I just don't believe that anyone in the world could wear a hat like that. I mean, what are we doing here? Extremely ridiculous. I just don't... I mean, the white part, but the red part is just so extra. This is just as bad as those French hats that we were seeing. And I don't believe it's true. I feel like this is like someone just making up history and acting like this is what we used to dress like. I mean, this guy right here. I think he's like double jointed. So what the hell's going on here? Who? I mean... Imagine putting a hat on that's 4 times the length of your head and just parading around like it's normal. That's ridiculous. You should be concerned, dude. It's just looking kind of askew. What is that? If you saw someone, I mean, it looks like he's carrying cargo on his head. I thought this was a sword, but I mean, is that how you hold that? Even if it's in its scabbard, so it can't be a sword. I don't know. I just don't know. This is a fountain haircut? Like a fountain hat? It's like he shaved the sides of his dreadlocks stuffed in here and then a feather plume. I just, something about this, I refuse to believe that this is reality. If this guy's hat is considered normal compared to some of these other guys, I just don't know what's going on here. And maybe I'm the only one that thinks this is ridiculous. A purse served with a highly decorated purse there for performing under pressure and extreme honor. Okay. These are just getting worse and worse. Like, this is a hat? Who and for what? What is that's tail? That's part of the hood? Like, what is going on here? This is just so stupid. I'd like to see a photograph of someone in real life. It's not it's not a play or something, wearing stuff like this, because... I mean, look at those fucking shoes. My God, how do you go from military regular clothing to just wearing this giant muumuu? I really don't understand. And it's hard for me to believe that this is real. What self-respecting person? Some of these are fine, I guess, a ceremonial wear, but like, what? What person's gonna put on a hat that's that huge? Or a hat with these, like, tassels? Like, what is the point? Unless you're intentionally trying to be hilarious or get the attention of, everyone around you. I don't even understand how this could work. What is going on here? It just seems so preposterous. Like, to even suggest that this is going on all the time. I can't. What is he holding? A bones? What is this? There's no way. He's like, this thing's itchy, Gerald. Can I take it off already? Fuck. No, you have to leave it on until we get there. I mean, look at that fucking hat. It's like they just drew it on. I mean, they even drew the hairy chest in. What is he even holding? The whole thing just seems so patently stupid. Like, what is that? Got my big spoon here. Gonna go, what? Taste soup? Or is it an opium pipe? What the hell is that? Gotta be smoking that, too. These, contrary to popular belief, these are not for food. These are just other people's hats that they're carrying in. Like, that hat doesn't even fit that fucking guy's head. I mean, I guess, yeah, well, these chef hats, is that what they're trying to say? These, like, cook's hats? Yeah, see? And you just saw, 2 years earlier, they weren't dressed like this. He's completely demoralized. Damn it, Barry bought a bigger hat than I did. You can call it a hat. Now, maybe there's something I'm missing. But why are we drawing these weird frumpy men with, what the fuck is that wrist? Look at that thing. This guy just looks like an abomination. It looks like the way a 4-year-old draws people. I mean, I just don't understand how it got published, and what is the point unless you are just trying to make people look as idiotic as possible. I mean, what's he holding? A spear? Stop, don't go there. I'm security. I mean, these swishy, I just don't understand. I mean, is that how you hold a sword? Because that's clearly got to be a sword, right? But that's the second person we've seen holding it like that. Now, where's this fool's other hand? Maybe I don't want to know. Or is he carrying Is he just carrying another hat? I mean, what Russian man is going to dress like this? I need to know. What Russian man, why is he standing like this? Like, this is just terrible. This has to be like the same artist that did that French book, because this is just, I don't know who's generating this stuff. That's not even to scale. I mean, these costumes are just like, who is the artist on this? This is just so dumb. What the hell's he doing? Yes, the only way this makes sense is if you're looking down at someone who fell out of a building, and this is from a drone shot of like him falling out of a building, and you see him smashed down on the floor with his arm dislocated and bent. What is this hat? It doesn't even fit by the drawing standards. I just. It just has to be just someone trying to make these people look stupid. Because I cannot imagine that this is how anyone would ever dress or behave, even. I mean, it's just insane. Fucking turban. Oh, dude, want some tea, dude? What's like a street vendor? It's just amazing. Anybody lose their lava lamp? Oh my god, what in the fuck is that? Is that a fez? With that hair, dude? This is ridiculous. This is just incredible. Money falling from the sky, dude. I'll catch it. God. I'm assuming that's a woman, even though that last person that was wearing this, it wasn't a woman, at least as far as the hat goes, is the only one without a mustache. And really, this woman's wearing even the most masculine shirt we've seen. If this is a woman, who knows what the fuck's going on, dude? Who made this stuff? This can't be real. Like, I don't know what we're doing here, man. Alright, I guess we are in the women's section for the last few pages. At least that makes kind of sense. Ending on a somber note here. Until you get to the shoes. I don't even know what's going on there. She's standing on, like, stilts? So, yeah. Apparently, around the time that America was wearing top hats and suits, your average Russian was walking around like this. Yeah, right.